Hi, everybody. Welcome to the PokeBeach.com podcast. My name is John. I go by Water Pokemon Master on the website, and I am joined by a very exhausted
Justin Basil of JustinBasil.com.
Why don't you tell everyone why?
I'm busy at work. Like, that's really what it comes down to.
You're a teacher, and this is your second week of school, and you had to do lesson plans for two different teachers, and
well, for a new curriculum that I did not have prior, and I'm now having to scramble for. So,
oh Lord,
yeah, that's great.
And I just got back from Worlds, and I am peeling all over the place. I just took a shower, and my skin was literally floating in the shower. So it's great.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. But Worlds was pretty fun. I made new friends. One friend I made. We went driving to the North Shore on the other side of the island. We went shark diving, and we didn't even really know each other that well, but we hit it off so well just because we had Pokemon to connect us, and we had a little group of people that we hung out with, and it was just so easy to make friends with people because we all have this franchise in common, and it's just so easy to relate to each other. Normally, I wouldn't go on a car alone with somebody to the other side of an island. They might be a serial killer, but
Hashtag Pokemon together, everyone. Hashtag Pokemon together.
Yeah, but it was fun. But yeah, we have a lot of news because I was ready to record after the closing ceremonies, but you had, of course, your teacherly duties. So
I have not been able to. Like, I got home about 30 minutes ago. I was at work for like 15 hours today, so I've been, and it's been like that pretty much the last week and a half, where I've been either at work or working pretty much constantly. So.
Well, I had told him before the podcast started, I said, should we be doing this anymore? It's like, you're so busy.
Yes, we should be doing this.
And he's like, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So I appreciate that you're a trooper for this. All right, let's get into the news this week. Should we start from the beginning, I guess? Since there's so much.
Let's start from the beginning. We have Stellar Crown pre-release promos.
And they are
They are so impressively lackluster. I love it.
Are they? Oh, I didn't even really look at what they do yet. There's Ladian, can you say it? Crabominable, Drifblim, and Bouffalant. All alternate art reprints of the ones from Stellar Miracle, the Japanese set that Stellar Crown is mostly based on. So are there any of these that you want to go over?
Bouffalant's probably the most interesting. My friends and I were playtesting with this with Terapagos. That minus 60 on Curly Wall, I'll read the ability here in just a second, is actually pretty relevant. So Bouffalant has ability Curly Wall. If you have another Bouffalant in play, your basic colorless Pokemon takes 60 less damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon after applying weakness and resistance. You can't apply more than one Curly Wall at a time. That minus 60 is huge, actually. It messes up a lot of math for Terapagos. Trying to knock him out, it's a lot harder with Bouffalant in play. Is it enough? No, not always, but it does make a difference a lot of times. And so Bouffalant, absolutely worth it. You
didn't think the others were that great?
I mean, Ledian's probably the next best, but it's not that impressive either. It says when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve on your Pokemon during your turn, you may switch in one of your opponent's benched Pokemon with 90 HP or less to the active spot, with it remaining. So it's technically usable, but there's never really a time I could think of that you'd run Ledian specifically to be gusting low HP Pokemon. It just feels pretty unimpressive as an ability for a stage 1, unfortunately.
And it only does 70 damage with Swift, so it's not going to knock him out.
Yeah, I mean, Swift could be good in specific matchups. That does take out Mimikyu, if I'm not mistaken. Mimikyu has 70 HP, I can confirm right now. But for the most part, you're not really worried about one specific card here. You're going to be worried usually about a couple, whether that's Snorlax and Mimikyu, or Snorlax and Iron Thorns, or depending on what your matchup roulette looks like. But yeah, Mimikyu does have 70 HP exactly, so I was right on that. But yeah, sure, it's fine, and it can cut through something like Mimikyu, but wouldn't need to have Swift to cut through Mimikyu anyway. It's already a non-rule box, so it's like, who cares?
I see. And you'll be able to get these in your Stellar Crown Build and Battle boxes, one of the 4 promos. Pre-releases will take place, I believe it's next weekend, and the weekend after.
Yes, they'll be next weekend.
And Stellar Crown itself will release on September 13th. So
I'll be running I'll be running 3 pre-releases for Stellar Crown this next weekend.
Oh Lord,
so that'll be fun. Yeah, including a midnight pre-release. Woohoo!
I don't know how you're functioning.
I'm running a League Cup tomorrow, so I literally, as soon as we get in here, I'm gonna shower and go to bed. That's all I'm doing. That day's over as soon as we're done.
I mean, I guess that's how I used to be too. I mean, I used to have to run this website and be in school at the same time, and I never had any sleep either. But now that I'm out of school, I guess I've forgotten how little time I used to have. But yeah, that's just the lives that we lead when we're, dealing with Pokemon and so involved in it, while trying to also cover things online, I guess. All right, and then we have the Stellar Sylveon EX and Stellar Ceruledge EX decks were fully revealed. They released on August 30th. We'll get their cards presumably in Stellar Crown in November. Let's look at the art real quick. That Vulpix and Ninetales.
So he means Surging Sparks, everyone. He means Surging Sparks.
Oh, did I say? What did I say? I'm tired too. Yeah, sorry. Surging Sparks, not Stellar Crown. All right. Were any of these seem...
The Pokemon we've already talked about, so specifically the Sylveon seems reasonably decent, and the Ceruledge seems okay, but in general the cards are pretty lackluster. I do know the Zapdos became a promo card, which is very weird for a card like that to become a promo, but yeah, it's not really that good.
It's going to be a promo for the Surging Sparks 3-pack blister, which we'll get to.
Yeah. But I no, in terms of actual playability here for cards that we would get, or new cards in general, no, there's not much here. Not that we haven't already talked about, at least. The Sylveon, again, very vaguely interesting. The Azumarill, vaguely interesting.
But nothing too.
It's nothing crazy, which is kind of what we expect out of a box set like this. Yeah. Usually it's maybe 1 or 2 interesting cards and then the rest is bulk. Yeah. That's kind of how, like, the most recent iteration that I can think of this that was reasonably important was the Gengar VMAX and Inteleon VMAX decks.
That was a while ago.
It was same general idea. Both those cards ended up coming out in Fusion Strike, and they were both, in and out of the meta. Gengar briefly for its first little bit of being in the meta, and then Inteleon kind of crept in at the end of its meta, but
yeah, if they're promo
we'll
cards,
see how these are.
If something is a promo card or an easily accessible deck, chances are it's not going to be that great. So anything
that goes for Japanese product. Here Japanese, they do good stuff all the time, frankly.
Yeah,
which that's good.
All right, Surging Sparks pre-release promos revealed.
So
we had this story was earlier, and then people were like, "Wait, these were revealed, but where's the Stellar Crown pre-release promos?" But we just went over that. So yeah, these are the newly revealed cards. We haven't seen the Chien Pao before or the Indeedee. Presumably, they'll be part of. Supercharge Breaker, the Japanese set that what are we on? Surging Sparks.
They could still be part of Paradise Dragona. To be fair, we haven't seen a good chunk of that set still.
That's true too. So the Indeedee is. You want to read it?
It has an ability called Obliging Heal. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon and have it recover from a special condition. And then you can do Super Psybolt for 50 damage for Psychic Colorless. This seems painfully underwhelming to me. I don't like E.
And we can't read what the Chien Pao does. The Gouging Fire.
No, unfortunately, we don't have any other way to read it.
Gouging Fire is part of Stellar Miracle, the Japanese set.
Yes.
I don't remember
Gouging Fire, we've seen the original print of Gouging Fire. We do know what it does. The Magneton we saw revealed as the Elite Trainer Box promo for Surging Sparks. That card is interesting. That card will probably see play. which is great because that's one of my favorite Pokemon. Also, Magneton, depending on how I'm feeling, is either my second or third favorite Pokemon. So,
do you want to remind us what it does? The ability.
If you will pull up the text, I will read it out because I do not have it memorized.
All right, well, I guess we'll get to that in the next story. Surging Sparks set officially revealed.
So, and I tweeted this out, but so before you get too far, that image in the hero image, I saw that and I went, yeah, that's Magneton. Turns out not only is it Magneton, it's Magneton as drawn by Shinji Kanda, which is a big deal for me. I love Shinji Kanda. My favorite artist in TCG is no longer working for the TCG. That's Tokia. But Shinji Kanda is still working for TCG, which makes them my favorite currently going. And then Magneton, of course, is one of my favorite Pokemon in my top 3. So yeah, it's a great combination for me.
That was the Giratina V artist, right?
Yes, they did the Giratina V. They've done a bunch of really beautiful cards.
So yeah, Surging Sparks was revealed. As you can see here, features Terra Pikachu, Latios, Alolan Executor, and Archaludon. Is that how you say it? Archaludon?
Also known as the staple remover.
And then Magneton's ability is Overvolt Discharge. Once during your turn, you may attach up to 3 basic energy cards from your discard pile to your Lightning Pokemon in any way you like. If you use this ability, this Pokemon is knocked out. Presumably it Overvolt Discharges.
Yep. And I know one of the more prominent Pokemon TCG players on Twitter was very concerned about the utility this has for charging up Iron Hands EX. You knock one of these out and immediately get it powered up, immediately start doing damage with Ampu very much and take extra prize cards off of rather squishy Pokemon. This is, of course, something you have to go to turn 2 to get powered up because Salvatore obviously cannot power this up or it cannot evolve it on turn 1. And even an expanded Wally, of course, can do it, but there are other things that are more broken to be doing. So, I mean, it's good. I definitely see it seeing play. I do raise a little bit of an eyebrow. I'm actually with Jake Gerhardt on this. I'm a little concerned about how useful it might be for something like Iron Hands. But then again, Iron Hands also still has access to Electric Generator, and that's even crazier and does not give up a prize card. Although the prize card giving up thing makes Arven even better because then you can throw Counter Gain and Counter Catcher up something vulnerable on your opponent's bench. And yeah, it's there's a lot involved that makes this card really, really good, frankly.
Magnemite, Magneton are also one of my favorite Gen 1 Pokemon, so I love that they gave this to a Stage 1, even though, Magnezone exists. So, I love how...
Magneton is a fully evolved Pokemon in my heart. I'm sorry, I don't really love Magnezone.
I know, I don't either. I don't like... I love how Magnemite, Magneton were shown in the Shaman movie. They, float around like little fish in the air. I just love them. And I love electronics, so I've always been a fan of those two. Who is that guy that used to... Wasn't there somebody on Twitter or the PokeBeach forums who used to always...
The Magnemite lover, yes.
Yeah, what happened to him? Did he die? I haven't seen his posts in a while.
That's not how that works, John. That's not how that works.
I haven't seen him in a while.
There hasn't been enough Magnemite, I guess.
Well, they would have...
They need to recharge.
Said something about this one. I guess they moved on with their lives. And then we have the...
You finally get Quagsire.
Yeah, and Wooper and Quagsire. Yep. And then the Zapdos we talked about before. That's coming from the Sylveon and... what's its name? Ceruledge theme decks. The premium Checklane blisters with Chandelure and Alakazam holos. And so Surging Sparks will feature over 250 cards, including 8 A-Spec cards, 8 Stellar Terra Pokemon EX, and 9 Terra Pokemon EX, 23 illustration rares, 11 special illustration rare Pokemon and supporter cards, and 6 hyper rare gold etch cards. It's going to be a stacked set.
So, okay... And I'm sure somebody's pointed this out in the comments already, but they say 8 Stellar Pokemon and 9 Terra Pokemon EX. That can't be... Either that's not all of them or something's wrong there, because we already know there are non-EX, or non-Terra, non-Stellar Pokemon EX in the set. Latios is one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. They always seem to get these wordings... we always seem to get comments on these wordings, the way that they word things. I don't know if the people that write this know the TCG so well.
It does feel like they don't know what they're talking about a lot of times.
They do get it wrong quite a bit.
I remember they're like 30 trainer cards, and it's actually like 15 plus a bunch of alt rares. And
yeah, it's the way, and they're inconsistent with how they count things too. So I wouldn't put much stock in it. I think,
and then I can't remember if it was Rebel Clash or Darkness Ablaze where they completely bungled the number of Pokemon V.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun one too.
But I do love the people who design these logos. This is like one of my favorite logos in a while. Like, I mean, not that the other are bad, but I like them a lot. I like it a lot.
This logo reminds me of like a Tech Deck or Hot Wheels toy from the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like,
maybe that's why I like it.
Look at this plastic product. It will break in a few minutes, but it's a cool ramp.
Yeah.
It's like,
And they made Pikachu's tail part of the logo, and I just like it a lot. I like it.
Yeah.
So the set description reads, terawatts of electricity crashed down from the sky in a tropical paradise, setting the stage for the supercharged Pikachu EX with its strikingly powerful Topaz Bolt attack. With the power of a stellar Terra Pokemon EX, it lights up the shoreline, revealing a parade of dragon Pokemon led by the towering Alolan Executor GX. Archuleta EX and Latias EX round out the horde, while new Ace-Spec cards and more new Pokemon EX bring surprises of their own. Currents crackle and dragons roar. They really didn't try to combine that. In the Pokemon TCG Scarlet and Violet Surging Spark expansion, it's just so funny how this set name and logo just do not. It's like they just couldn't figure out how to have like an electric and dragon pun together. They just like threw out the dragon.
I mean, okay,
portion.
so here's the thing. Like the dragon Pokemon they're advertising on the packaging, it's a Alolan Executor.
Yeah, which isn't like really seen as, it doesn't.
Like that's the big highlight. I think Latias isn't, or Latias, I can't remember which.
They're both
on the packaging too, right?
Yeah, both of them.
But like, if you're going to advertise a dragon set, like, where the hell is Rayquaza?
No, I don't agree with this one. I like that Alolan Executor isn't like, it's not immediate, doesn't immediately strike you as a dragon type. So I kind of like that because it kind of makes you look at it and go like, what? And then if you don't know, then you learn. So I don't know. I think Rayquaza is overused anyway. So I'm going to disagree with you on this one.
It's look, it's a legendary, but like Dragonite, like the staple dragons should be in this set too.
They might be.
It's just,
we don't know yet. We haven't seen all of Paradise Dragona, but I
seriously doubt it.
I like that they're giving it to an unsuspecting one. Because when you think dragon, you don't think Alolan Executor. So
it also makes me a little concerned that they're advertising. The only Pokemon they'd be advertising really from the Pikachu set in Japan is Pikachu itself. Which means this set is leaning real hard on Paradise Dragona for its advertising. Which makes me question how tantalizing is the Pikachu set. I can't remember what it's called, Supercharged Breaker.
I'm sure it'll be okay. Like, I don't know. That didn't strike me, but
So there's no Pokemon that could pair up with any of these. They're gonna lean. It's gonna be Archaludon. It's gonna be Latias rather. Well, both of them, and Alolan Executor. Those are gonna be the ones I lean into. Like, surely there was another Pokemon in the Supercharged Breaker set that could have been in place of Alolan Executor, right? Like,
what would be like the next popular electric type? I can't think off
the next most popular electric type.
Yeah, think of one. I'm having trouble.
Based on the TCG's like almost fetishization of it, Luxray. Like Luxray gets so much love, it's almost annoying.
Yeah, Luxray just kind of had its spotlight with the Diamond and Pearl sets.
Luxray is one of those Pokemon that gets so many cards. Yeah. It has already had multiple cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. It's like 2 or 3 already. So
then what's another electric type that we haven't seen that's popular? Like that we haven't seen lately? It's hard to think right now, this late.
I mean,
that would be
I'm working on fumes here.
Yeah. Well, it's also like maybe they went with these other dragons because they have secondary types too. Like Latias can be psychic. This Archaludon.
I mean, most Pokemon are dual type.
Well,
most Pokemon are dual type. I don't think that's really
well, what I mean is that
concern.
they can be seen as a secondary type in addition. Like Latios could easily be in a psychic set. Like this could easily be in
other reasonably popular electric Pokemon. You got like Ampharos, Zeraora. Let's see here.
They're all yellow. Maybe that's why.
Obviously Magnezone, but Magnezone's probably already in the set based on what we know.
Maybe
Morpeko's reasonably popular.
It's because they're yellow.
Miraidon is
maybe it'd be
decently popular, I guess.
Maybe it would be weird to have like 2 yellow mascots on the pack art because most of those are yellow, aren't they?
I mean, a little Executor, like the most prominent part of it is yellow too. So I'm not thinking.
Well, it's got really green and brown.
And then like they can always Terra a Pokemon too.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be Pikachu.
Well, who knows? Maybe we will once we see the selection of cards in Supercharged Breaker. Maybe that'll answer your question. But you seem to not be
reprint computer search.
You seem to be saying I don't want to put words in.
That's like their last shot to do it too.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you seem to be saying that you're afraid that Supercharged Breaker won't have anything that cool.
In terms of Pokemon, no, it seems like it's a little lackluster. The trainer cards could help support it, and obviously they're not going to show those on the packs.
Well,
but like it feels like
it's too
maybe
early.
the Pokemon selection is a little lacking if they're leaning this hard into Paradise Dragona.
I don't know. I think it's too early. We're just going off pack art, but I mean it's a valid theory. Like I don't know. Maybe just Pikachu is the star of the set, and they don't want to eclipse it with another. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, even if it's not another electric type Pokemon, like. Maybe there's like I don't know.
What's
like
it? I need a list of electric
Terra
types.
something that's interesting. Something.
What is there any? Think of an electric type that isn't yellow. We need like a blue one. Blue is like the secondary electric color.
So the Magnemite line.
Well.
Toxtricity is at least a low key form.
I could see Toxtricity being yellow. On the pack art if it were in the set. Yeah,
I don't know how popular Toxtricity is.
I feel like
it's that popular to be honest. I mean, it's probably not bad. I'd like to see Zebstrika on the pack art. I think Zebstrika is very underappreciated
because it's kind of lame. It's a little. It's like
it's not lame. Look,
it's a zebra.
I will give Gen 5 crap all day because it deserves most of the crap I sling at it. But it has good Pokemon too, and Zebstrika is one of those. I will die on that hill. I will defend Zebstrika.
And then I should also say the set description says, in this expansion, players can collect and battle with cards themed after the Terranium in Artificial Paradise, first introduced in the Hidden Treasure of Area 0 Part 2, the Indigo Disc DLC for Scarlet and Violet. So Paradise Dragona, we didn't know till now, is apparently an artificial... It's one of the Terraniums from, the DLC. So fun little fact, I guess.
Cool.
So our set will combine the cards from August Stellar Roulette GX and Stellar Sylveon EX decks, September's Paradise Dragona featuring Alolan Executor EX and Latias EX, and October Supercharged Breaker featuring Terra Pikachu EX. And that's the only card that we know is from Supercharged Breaker so far. We don't know anything else that'll be in that set.
Is it Terra or Stellar? For Pikachu, it'd be Stellar, right?
Stellar, yeah. Sorry, Stellar.
Based on the hat.
Yeah. It's been I know I was in Hawaii and it's like vacation. People think it's vacation, but I was working the entire time except that one day. So anyway, I'm still recovering.
Yeah. No, I get it. We've been away from home for like, a week? A little over a week?
Mm-hmm, yeah. I still haven't unpacked. It got sunburned real bad. Lots of was covering news every single day at World, so it was very busy. Didn't get any sleep. Okay, so then let's do Paradise Dragona cards. Oh no, I guess there weren't that many, so let's just do it now.
No, there only
let me line them up. So we've got here. You want to say that name?
So Shiinotic and Morlul have both been revealed for Paradise Dragona. Morlul features art from Kamiya.
Sorry, can you say it again? How do you say this one's name?
Shiinotic.
Okay, that's how I was saying it too. Okay.
Yeah, and then Morlul. Mm-hmm. So Morlul is a pretty basic. It's got art from Kamiya, so if you're a Kamiya collector, you're going to want to grab it. It's pretty good art, frankly. And then Shiinotic has the ability Relaxing Light, Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may use this ability. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. We last saw an ability like this one on Mireep from Lost Thunder. That had a Fluffy Pillow ability. Same effect, but that was on a basic, and if I'm not mistaken, on a Pokemon with 1 retreat cost. This is a 2 retreat cost stage 1, which makes it quite a lot worse. It's an interesting effect, and it could theoretically see play maybe in its lower format. Probably not in standard, though.
Look at its creepy fingers.
Definitely got those salad finger vibes going on it. It's pretty something.
Yeah.
I know somebody in the comments was like, who has this as a Pokemon they even like? And then there are a couple people like, actually, it's my favorite. And I'm like,
I think there's a big subset of people in the world that would love this card and many other mushroom cards. Not me, but
fair enough. But still, I don't. Shiinotic is like, I love Gen 7. Don't get me wrong, but Shiinotic is not one of my favorite Pokemon from that generation.
I like that it lights up.
It's just one of those Pokemon that's like cool, I guess.
I like that it lights up. I think that's cool.
I think Morlo is cute enough, but like Shiinotic is.
Morlo was in the Detective Pikachu movie. It was wasn't it helping guide them to heal Pikachu? I think. I don't remember. I only saw that movie like once. All right, now we have the quack. Oh God, here we go again. This week is all the hard ones.
Quackable and Quaxwell and Quaxley.
Yeah.
So Quackable is really the only one worth noting here. It has an ability called Up Tempo. Once during your turn, you may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand. This is reminiscent of Claydol from Great Encounters. Claydol from Great Encounters has a Poke Power. That is probably one of the best draw engines, if not the best draw engine the game has ever seen. It's so strong. It has a very similar effect, but you can put up to 2 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck and draw until you have 6 cards instead. So this is definitely a nerfed version of Claydol, and I think reasonably so. I think a lot of people are seeing this on a stage 2 and going, it's on a stage 2. I don't think they understand just how incredibly powerful being able to put a card on the bottom of your deck before you draw actually is. Yes, it's only 1. Yes, Claydol would be 2, but this makes Bibarel look like nothing. If there is ever a situation where a Quaxwell is even somewhat decent, this card starts popping up everywhere.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Justin Basil thinks this is a underappreciated card that will see play. So let's
assuming there's a decent Quaxwell ever. Yeah.
If there's a decent Quaxwell.
Yeah, if there's a decent Quaxwell.
This Quaxwell was laughably just has 1 attack for 40 damage. It's like, what? Yeah,
it's very basic.
It's like,
but no, even I could still see Quackable trying to sneak into decks, especially once Pidgeot EX rotates. I could see it sneaking into decks. It's a good card. It is.
All right.
Now that I've said that, they're going to drop some new Dragona EX or like a Dragona EX with the new Dragona GX and ruin the entire game again. But for now.
All right, and then our next news story is that the Grand Adventure Collection featuring Pokemon Horizons promo is releasing in November. It'll release on November 8th. It'll feature the Pokemon Horizons promos that were previously exclusive to China and other countries. We don't know the price yet, but as you can see here, it features the Tropicos and Friends Jumbo card featuring characters from the show, including Liko, Roy, etc. Sprigatito, which is Liko's, and Fuecoco, which is Roy's. It'll come with 4 booster packs and these cards. So
I like it.
Fun little cross-promotional product here.
Yep.
I have another news story coming up on this product that I'm going to post maybe tomorrow. But in Europe, they're giving out promos of these cards, I guess, like with purchases of 20 euros or more at stores. And it says that they're Pokemon Horizons promos and that there's 3 different promos. So I'm wondering, are they giving out these cards? Like, I'm going to speculate in the news story tomorrow because it's kind of confusing that they say there's Pokemon Horizons promos are giving out. It's 3 designs, which matches this product. So I don't know if that means they're giving out like a regular size Tropicos and Friends card. So we'll
Probably
see.
not.
Yeah, I know, because it's a jumbo and they don't want it to be played unless they put like text on it that says that. But it's a little weird because it specifically says Pokemon
without
Horizons.
a regulation mark, it wouldn't be legal anyway. But
Does it not have one? Oh, it doesn't have one. Okay. No. Oh, well then maybe it will be a regular sized card then. Because it's weird. They say they're giving out Pokemon Horizons promos in 3 different ones, and these are the only Pokemon Horizons promos we know about, and there's 3 different ones. So,
interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. Put it all together tomorrow for that news story. All right. Oh God. Then we have Greninja EX Ultra Premium Collection releasing in November, and it includes a Metal Greninja EX promo. Comes with 16 booster packs, Terra Greninja EX as a regular card and a metal card, the regular water type Greninja EX, a rubber playmat, a deck box, a metallic coin, 6 damage counter dice, 2 plastic condition markers, and a code card. Should cost $120. And here are the images. So a lot of people are criticizing this product because it's just, reprinted.
Who is this for?
Well, so something I want to point out is that, so the official description says that that it would come with the Terra Greninja EX and the regular Greninja EX. But then if you look at the product description, it says it'll have a full art promo card featuring Greninja EX. So I don't know if that means that we're getting something else for this, or maybe something from what is it? The Trastal Festival set.
Yeah,
but
if
these could be placeholder images.
If that's like temporary placeholder art, maybe this would be more interesting.
But then they also say
marketed now though,
yeah. So I could see this being appealing to little kids who like Greninja, I guess, but
for $120,
well, I don't know. Maybe grandma and grandpa want to get it for their kid. I don't know.
Even then, grandma and grandpa gotta pay for stuff. I don't know about that.
Yeah, and then we've gotten metal cards before. This will be the 6th one. We've gotten Pikachu, Charizard from Celebrations, Arceus V and V Star in the Arceus Premium Collection, and then the Mew EX. So
and there was also a gold Pokeball a while back.
Was that a metal card?
It was a metal.
The one from
Yeah, okay. It was.
I didn't remember that one, but yeah. So if these are just as printed as shown here, this is pretty disappointing. I don't know if they will. They haven't done placeholder images that often. That used to be very common back in the old days. They used placeholder images for like everything, and the only recent time I think they did that was like for the Handoom EX Battle Deck, whichever set of.
Well, we were speculating recently. I think that they're doing it again for another set of battle decks, right?
We said it might be for the next set of ones, but that's not confirmed.
Yeah.
The only one where it was an actual
but
the only one where it was actually a placeholder and then was changed later was the Houndoom and whichever one that was it Melmetal that it was paired with. But it's definitely, it used to be very, very common. I remember back in the day we always used to say, oh, this might be a placeholder image, but they haven't been doing that for years. But we'll see. I don't know.
Maybe they're going back to it.
The factor that we're bringing that up in like hopes of this being a better product just speaks to this being bad.
Yeah.
So
it's just like you have a generic Ultra Pro Play mat, which is like a regional mat basically. So it's okay. You get a decent number of packs, but like the promos are nothing to write home about. The dice are nothing to write home about. Like nothing else in this screams like, oh yeah, I should totally get this. Other than the fact that they've slapped Greninja on the box.
I love the box art at least. Like I think that looks pretty cool. That could have been a cool Ultra Pro.
I mean, it'll look really cool in a trash can. I get it, but like,
I don't think people that buy
most
these.
People that buy this stuff still strip it open, pull all the crap out, and throw it out. You get a couple people that are pack rats, but for the most part,
yeah, I never really keep anything sealed. I open up everything that I get. So it's funny. I had the London die set, the premium die set from the London Worlds. I had it in my Pokemon League, and I was just playing with it, and everybody was freaking out, like, "Oh my God, why are you using that? Keep it sealed." So I think these are like, to me, this sounded like one of those products that people are meant to display on their shelves as like an investment or whatever, but Anyway, so yeah, there's that. We'll see if it's a placeholder image or not.
I mean, maybe it is just one of those, like, look how cool this is on my shelf products. I don't know.
I think it looks cool, but I don't know.
It's a I have more money than sense product. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
But people love those UPCs, so I don't know.
Yeah, but the UPCs come with a lot more than this generally.
Yeah, they do. At least something that's like cut from a set, at least, and isn't available.
Something vaguely interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of not so great boxes, we also have this Serena EX Premium Collection releasing this month on August 30th, just like the Tyranitar EX Premium Collection. Strangely, we still don't know how these are going to release. They are probably going to be a store exclusive product because they have not been listed through distributors. So maybe expect these at like Target or Walmart or, you know, one of those stores. It'll come with 6 booster packs, Serena EX, Cosmos holofoil versions of Bound Sweet and Steenie from Obsidian Flames, 65 Pokeball sleeves, a magnetic card protector with display stand, and a code card. So this is even worse than the Greninja collection. Nothing.
I mean, Greninja has seen some success lately. Serena has seen a tiny bit way back. But when I say success, I mean like in small online tournaments, nothing real. Greninja is pretty much the same way. They're not that good, and like they're not even. This is a little kid product, is what it is to me.
Yeah,
this is a little kid product where they want the flashy Pokemon, and they don't really care that it's or even know for that matter that it's in a set, and they can get it other ways.
Did we get
for
these,
25 cents on TCG Player?
Didn't we get these Pokeball sleeves before? Were these not in like one of the Charizard products?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I think we might have gotten these before.
I don't follow the sleeves very well.
I don't either, but I'm pretty sure we got these before. So if we did, then the only exclusive thing this comes with is the Cosmos holofoil versions of the pre-evolutions. So, and I guess the magnetic card protector will have its own design, I guess. But yeah,
presumably
weird product. I don't know why they're doing that with these. Maybe these are all placeholders. Maybe we're going to be surprised. Maybe these come from Trastal Festival. Like new alternate art versions.
It would be pushing it really far forward.
All right, and then our next news story is one of the big stories of the week that I was sitting at Worlds for covering.
Basil was right in Butcher Story. Woo.
The what?
The Basil was right in Butcher Story.
Butcher?
The sandwich shop we went to in New Orleans.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, as expected, 2025 will see the return of Owner's Pokemon to the TCG, now officially called Trainer's Pokemon. The closing ceremonies of World just revealed Lily's Clefairy EX, Marnie's
also known as Screw Dragapult EX,
Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, En's Reshiram, and En's Zoroark EX. So, you want to go over these?
Yes, actually. These are... Okay, first off, I'm very, very excited that we are getting Owner's Pokemon. I am glad my prediction was correct because this is so exciting for me. Lily is one of my favorite trainers in the game. Super glad to see she's getting a card. The card we're talking about here for Lily is Lily's Clefairy EX. It has the ability Fairy Zone. The weakness of each of your opponent's Dragon-type Pokemon in play is now Psychic. Apply weakness as ×2. This basically means that Dragapult and any other Dragon-type Pokemon don't get to masquerade behind no weakness anymore. Clefairy comes down as a basic Pokemon and immediately gives them a weakness to Lily's Clefairy. And what's even cooler is it has a decent attack to go with it, especially since we have the stadium that's coming out here in Stellar Crown that can expand your bench size. Keep that in mind as I read this. For a Psychic and colorless energy, we have Full Moon Rondo, which does 20 damage, plus this attack does 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So very similar to Suicune V, Entei V, etc. Lily's Clefairy is doing damage to your opponent's active Pokemon based on the number of Pokemon in play, which is pretty decent because of course, Area 0 Underdepths, which with something like a Terapagos or maybe perhaps one of the Wellspring, one of the Ogerpon EX, you have access to 8 bench Pokemon. Your opponent, of course, also could do the same, further boosting your damage if they're desperate for getting extra space. This is super, super interesting. I love this card. It's a very interesting design to me. And of course, Lily is nice to have. I am very much looking forward to the hopeful special illustration where this card might get, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be the fun part is because we've seen, and Reshiram has a illustration rare style card here. Beautiful. So it'll be interesting to see which ones they give it to. Maybe it'll be like the each trainer in the set and their star Pokemon might get one, something like that.
I can see that. Definitely, because like they're pushing. Was it like 5 or 6 trainers specifically in the trailer?
Yeah.
So we could see
N's definitely associated with Reshiram the most because it's the box legendary. So maybe we'll get Lily's Clefairy EX or Lily's Alolan Vulpix or something like that.
Snowy.
Yeah. All right. And then, Snowy.
Marnie's Grimmsnarl.
Evolves from
Marnie can come back.
Evolves from Marnie's Morgrem. Not a regular Morgrem.
Just as it
Marnie's
should.
Morgrem.
Yep, just as it should. The ability here is Punk Up. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 5 basic Darkness energy cards and attach them to your Marnie's Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. Then for double Darkness energy, you have Shadow Bullet, which does 180 damage. And since its attack also does 30 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon. I have a strong suspicion this comes out of a deck based on the way it's presented here.
Oh, we know
its ability seems decent.
It comes out of the
it feels like it comes out of a deck based on how it's designed.
Mm-hmm.
We need to see how good its partners are. What is it powering up theoretically? Is it a junk Morpeko that's meant just for that deck?
It is.
Or is it something that could actually see competitive play? That's the question.
It's part of the Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX deck, and then we also know there's going to be a Stevens Beldum and Metagross EX deck. So looks like those we already are getting confirmation that those decks are going to be folded into our first set of the year. So
first core set.
Yeah, core set. Yeah. Sorry. And then we have N's Reshiram. We have 2 versions of it, the regular card, and then presumably the illustration rare or whatever this will be called.
Yes.
So
I am really interested in this archetype. I am a little scared about it. I will explain why after I've read these cards. So N's Zoroark EX has the ability trade. Zoroark loves trade.
Yeah.
You must discard a card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. Trade is an extraordinarily good ability. It's most popularly saw play as trade as Zoroark GX. Similar abilities, or really identical abilities with a different name, have seen decent amount of play on Chinchino from Sword and Shield base set, on Kirlia from Silver Tempest. We have Make Do and Refinement, respectively. This ability is very good. I just cannot see any instance in the TCG, unless they completely ruin the TCG, where this would not be good. But in Zoroark EX has an attack too. It has for 2 Darkness Energy, Night Joker. Choose one of your benched N's Pokemon's attacks and use it as this attack. So for just 2 Darkness Energy, now you have access to whatever Pokemon attack you need. This Zoroark EX has 280 HP, which is nothing to scoff at. And you get access to something like N's Reshiram. N's Reshiram is a basic Pokemon, has 130 HP. It's not a rule box Pokemon, which is kind of nice. If you start it, it's only 1 prize when it inevitably gets knocked out. But for Fire and Lightning, you do Powerful Rage for 20 times damage. This attack does 20 damage for each damage counter on this Pokemon. Now, N's Reshiram only has 130 HP, which means theoretically you could only go up to 120 damage before that was worth anything. But you could really do lots of damage if you're copying it with Zoroark EX because it has a lot more HP, which means you're basically just nuking everything if you have enough damage on you. And then if for whatever reason that's not good enough, you do have access to Virtuous Flame, which is 170 damage, which is decent 2-shot numbers.
I love its Pokedex entry. I know this is old, but Reshiram's Pokedex entry. According to myth, if people ignore truths and let themselves become consumed by greed, Reshiram will arrive to burn their kingdoms down. Reshiram is the anti-politician Pokemon. And then their Pokedex entries.
So what you're saying is Reshiram hasn't been doing its job?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at this rate, the whole U.S. would have been burned down multiple times.
Yeah.
But I was really, I think one time you had asked me on one of the early episodes of this podcast, like, what is something you want back in the card game? And I said, I miss owners Pokemon, or as they're called, trainers Pokemon, because they were so good at bringing in the trainers and helping you to remember all of them, like all the gym leaders and everything. And that's why I feel like the Gen 1 gym leaders are so memorable. And then like with all these generations that have gone by, it's so hard to keep track of all of them unless they like get a supporter card or something. So I'm really glad that they're going to do this. I hope it goes for the entire year, to be honest. I hope they cover multiple generations, multiple trainers, because there's just so many trainers.
I hope they had all of them.
Yeah, it would be really nice. Like if they had different themes. Well, they're going to start off obviously with the Mismatch set where we're going to get like from trainers from different generations. But it would be really cool if we had like, I don't know, an Elite Four theme set or something like that. I don't think they'll do that because there's
a Rocket theme set apparently.
Yeah, right. We're going to get a Rocket theme set. Glory of Team Rocket. But it would be cool if they took their time with this and like had theme sets, but it kind of already feels like they're gonna just kind of mishmash them together. Unless the first one is just an introduction.
The last time they truly themed their sets was Sun and Moon. They haven't really done anything proper since.
And they do that.
They'll do like a random special set, but not anything consistent.
And they do that so that people can't ignore a set, because there's always going to be something that somebody wants. You know, if you're not a fan of like Gen 5, for example, and they release a Gen 5 set, well, you're going to say in your head, well, I can skip this. Whereas if they mix a bunch of characters. Right, as a collector. But if they mix a bunch of different trainers from different generations, then you have to buy packs of the set, because inevitably there's going to be something in there you want. So I wish they would be a little more organized and be like themed. I think it would be really cool to have like a gym leader set, but I don't think they're going to do that.
Give me Alistair, give me Tate and Liza, give me Erica, give me Jasmine and Lily. Who else? Give me Ash or Red. Red would be really cool.
Gen 5, 6, and 7. Don't even ask me who the gym leaders are off the top of my head. I would really have to sit down and think about it.
Just I'm gonna help you out here. Gen 7 doesn't have any, so you're good.
Oh, right, there you go. Well, I mean, it's got what's her face? The blue-haired, green-haired Kiawe. What are the other ones? The cook and the fish, the Lana. Anyway.
You talking about the Kahunas?
Yeah, whatever. I don't remember. They all blend. All these generations. This is why I needed the owner's Pokemon all these years to help me keep them straight. Because I stare at the cards all the time, so it's easy for me to remember them. Whereas in the games, you just battle them once or twice and you're done with them. Or you see them in an episode of the anime and you're done with them. Whereas the cards, they're eternal. They're forever. They sit on your desk. They sit in your binder. So it's easy to remember all of them, for me at least. And then when this was announced at Worlds, people went ballistic. They were so excited, but before the tournament, everybody was talking about it's going to be owners Pokemon, and I heard several people say that's what PokeBeach was speculating. So we did that. What was that? And then people were also at Worlds talking about the article from the other week about the how ZA is probably going to be delayed and not going to be announced. There was some debate about that before the closing ceremonies that I overheard people talking about. They were like, oh, are they really going to not show anything about ZA? And I kind of thought maybe they might do a little something, but I also, the more logical part of me was like, no, it's too early. So, and they didn't. It just ended up we
literally just had a whole conversation in one of the PokeBeach episodes recently about it's not coming anytime soon. So
so the big announcements were the owners Pokemon, and then of course the Team Rocket set, which is part of this same thing. Wait, was there another announcement? I'm trying to think. Oh, and then the other announcement was that Worlds was going to be in Anaheim and San Francisco. So those were the two big announcements during the closing ceremonies, which was nice because I was like, hey, Worlds was originally about the card game. We should celebrate the card game by making these be the big announcements of the year of Worlds. So I was happy that they focused on the card game like that. And people went, like I said, ballistic. They were so happy to see these icons pop up because it what was it? I think it first showed Lily's and then it zoomed over to her icon and then we saw the card. And that's what people were excited about. So I was really happy to see that.
We haven't talked about it. We absolutely need to talk about it briefly. The animation that they used to reveal this
right
was
here.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's right here. And when this was first playing, I was like, I don't know what this is about. I was like, huh? And then the second she ran into the frame, the second I saw her shoes, I was like, it's coming. It's confirmed. There's no way this isn't that. And I was just waiting, and I had my phone pointed at the screen, ready to take the picture of whatever the first card was going to be to tweet it out. And it was just like that. And I was like, oh, crap. I was like, wait, which picture do I post? And then they showed the full thing, and I tweeted it out, and I sent it. And then I got the new story ready after that. But everybody was streaming it, so the internet kind of crashed. The cell phone towers, I guess. So it was a little late to getting the story up. Late by, a few minutes. But anyway, this was really cool to see people this excited about it. And sorry, were you talking? It cut out again.
A very, very hype announcement. It's not that I cut out.
Oh.
I muted myself because my cat was going ballistic.
Oh.
And I forgot to unmute myself. No, it's a very, very hype announcement. I'm super excited that it's happening.
And then this part of the trailer right here. Sorry, playing the trailer for those of you listening. This part of the trailer is obviously saying, here's the old archetypes of the year: the Iron Hands, the Chien-Pao, the Terra Charizard EX, the I think it was Dragapult that they showed, and then Marnie's Pokemon come in to N's Pokemon come in to take them on. So it's almost like they're saying, hey, N's Pokemon are going to be the counters to this, or they're going to defeat these archetypes.
It's true, though, and I didn't mention this when we were talking about the cards, but N's archetype feels very much like it's almost like a new version of Mew VMAX. Mm-hmm. It feels like it's going to be extremely powerful. The
trailer, it was happening so quick that people were throwing out their theories because they couldn't rewatch it right away. And I saw people during Worlds were like, oh, are they going to have like a Chien-Pao owner's card? And I was like, no. They're just saying that those were the archetypes for the past year, and the Pokemon they're showing in the trailer, the owner's Pokemon, are coming to counter those Pokemon. And I think earlier it was Marnie was countering. She was countering. Who was it? It was Cramorant, I think, and Sableye.
Lost Box. Yeah. Lost Box is pretty well murdered with Kyurem, but okay.
Well, yeah. And then so it was really cool to see all these, to see them get revealed, and then and then they showed Arvin and Mabostiff, and then whoops, I just went full screen. And then they showed Ethan and Pichu. And then where did Psyduck go? And then they showed Psyduck. And then I had a question mark when I first posted this, but then I looked closer and I realized that is Misty in the reflection of the pool right there. That's her face. So it's going to be Misty Psyduck, obviously. Whether it'll be Misty Psyduck EX or Misty Psyduck then into Misty's Golduck, we don't know. But I'm glad that we're going to get Misty. And then they, of course, teased, as you can see right here, the Team Rocket logo with everybody at the tournament missed this because it went by so quick. But Mewtwo is in the R, which obviously means Rocket's Mewtwo EX. You're still muted, by the way.
Rocket's Mewtwo.
Or it cut out for me.
Just leave it off.
As it always does.
For you.
Yeah. As we kind of already said, the new owner's Pokemon will work just like the original mechanic from Gym Heroes and Gym Challenge. They will evolve from or into their respective trainers' Pokemon and show their trainer's icon on the card. Although this time they can also be Pokemon EX. So, as I mentioned before, we're going to get Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX evolving from Marnie's Morgram, and Zoroark EX evolving from Anzorua. So, yeah. And then we might get Misty Psyduck and Misty's Golduck. We'll see. But the twist this time will be that they can be EXs, which we have not had since the Gen 3 EX era. So, in June, the glory of Team Rocket was revealed through Japanese trademark listings. We still don't know its release date, but the earliest that it can currently release is March. At the time, we predicted the set would see the return of Rocket's Pokemon or Dark Pokemon. Turned out to be Rocket's. Then last month, distributor listings revealed Battle Partners will be the first Japanese set of 2025. It will feature notable trainers alongside their Pokemon, including Iono, Ann, and Lily. So we saw Lily in the trailer, obviously, her Clefairy, and we saw Ann, of course, but we haven't seen Iono. So presumably it'll be like Iono's Belly Bolt or something like that.
Iono's Miss Magius EX.
And then at the same time, it was also revealed that 2 new pre-constructed decks will release on February 21st, named Starter Set EX Stevens Beldum and Metagross EX, and Starter Set EX Marnie's Morpeko and Grimmsnarl EX. So we already saw the Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, so we know that that's coming from the decks, as Justin Basil pointed out. And all of this at the time indicated the return of Owner's Pokemon. And that's how I was able to write that story the other week about the Owner's Pokemon mechanic potentially being used to stall while they get ready for ZA. And now that seems to be the case. We had talked about, my contact. In that story, I was talking about how they don't just introduce and drop mechanics that quickly. So I kind of get the feeling we'll see this for a long time, and then they'll introduce Mega Evolutions. So we'll see. They could
watch them pull another Amazing Rare.
What do you mean?
The Amazing Rares only appeared for like a set and then the wrap-up set, and that was it.
Was it just 2 sets? No, I thought it was
really
like
one.
Wasn't it like 3?
It was really technically 1, but the other set had a new 1 or new 2, just because they were for part to add to the wrap up set.
Oh, well, they aren't going to drop that so quickly for this, because this was the big Worlds announcement. So this is definitely not.
Yeah, no, this will be. Yeah. If it's a Worlds announcement, it's for the whole year.
Yeah, it's not going to be dropped quickly. I originally wrote in that article the other week that we might see Mega Evolutions be revealed for Worlds 2025, but then I took it out because I was like, oh, this is like way too far ahead to predict that. But now I'm like, oh, yeah, maybe it will be. Maybe we will see. Maybe we'll get trainers all year, and then next year it'll be at Anaheim. It'll be Mega Evolutions. So, and just to review, since 2016, there has been a new TCG mechanic revealed at each Worlds, and then I put in parentheses, I've been at all of the Worlds to cover them. 2016 was Pokemon GX, 2017 was Ultra Beasts, 2018 was Tag Team Cards, 2019 was Pokemon V, 2020 and 2021 we didn't have Worlds because of COVID, 2022 was the return of Pokemon EX, and 2023 was Paradox Pokemon and the return of A-Spec cards. And then, of course, this year is the return of Owner's Pokemon / Trainer's Pokemon. I still are you going to call them Trainer's Pokemon?
They're Owner's Pokemon.
Yeah, that's how I feel. We've been calling them Owner's Pokemon since like 2000 or whatever. So it's kind of a little late to... But I guess Trainers makes more sense because Owner kind of sounds a little slavey, whereas Trainer is more about the bond between a trainer and a Pokemon. But Trainer is also confusing a little bit because Trainer kind of is like, you might think you could be confused for like a trainer card or something. So I just prefer Owner's Pokemon, but anyway. So yeah, so we've got...
okay, here's the reason they're called Owner's Pokemon. I'm going to cite the rule book.
Yeah.
The rule book.
Wait, can I say something real quick before you say that? It's to maybe just to say if that's why we've also had like Aura's Lucario EX and like sort of inanimate objects that aren't trainers before. So that's also why it's Owners, because a trainer implies like a person. But it's also been things like Aura's Lucario EX. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to cite the rule book, the official rule book for the trading card game. This is page 21, currently in the Twilight Masquerade version of the rule book, all right? Mm-hmm. So this is on page 21 under the main header, what does and doesn't count for a Pokemon's name. Several bullets down, an owner or form name is part of the Pokemon's name. Meowth, Alola Meowth, and Rocket's Meowth have different names.
There you go.
It very specifically says an owner. It does not say a trainer. It says an owner. And that's why they are referred to as Owner's Pokemon.
There we go. Well, maybe they're going to have something different with this. Maybe that's why they're distinguishing it. Maybe there's going to be something, I don't know. But I think they probably just forgot and just gave it that name. Anyway. All right. And then we have, so we're probably not going to see these cards for a while. It's going to be a couple months before they start revealing these cards. But we should know like the Glory of Team Rocket release date and a couple more details, maybe within the next, I want to say 1 or 2 months. So we're going to start to get news about this stuff. And then probably we'll start seeing official reveals in December, or maybe even
I'm looking
late
forward
November.
to it.
Yeah,
I very much look forward to it.
Yeah, I just really hope they hit all of the trainers so that I can remember all of them. Be nice.
I would like them to hit all of them. I doubt they will, honestly, but I would like them to hit all of them from every generation. Do all, several hundred interesting trainers. And then, it's not like the sets aren't big enough.
Yeah, I mean, they could do it now. Like, if they do 6 Pokemon per trainer, like, I don't know, they could fit in, like, I don't know math.
That's a whole year easy.
What's let's say a 200 card set divided by 6 Pokemon. They could have like 30 trainers per set if they wanted to. I mean, that's a little extreme, but that would be
sure.
Cool
Why not?
If they had 6 Pokemon each. All right, and then the other big announcement at Worlds was that this is the first time we've had 2 Worlds locations revealed, and I kind of don't think it was. I don't think they wanted to.
I think there's probably a reason for it.
Yeah. So. Worlds 2025 will be in Anaheim, California from August 15th through 17th. It's been in Anaheim before. And it'll be in San Francisco in 2026 from August 28th through 30th. Also been in San Francisco once before. Anaheim a couple of times. The reason that they probably revealed San Francisco is because it already leaked in February this year. The venue kind of leaked it. So I guess they were just like, well, people know, so might as well just tell them. And I like that they usually wait to tell us the dates until, like, I want to say January, February usually. This year it was late, but other years they tell us, like, the following year. So I think it's really nice they actually gave us the dates this time because that'll give people time to book their flights and rooms and all that, get the best rates possible. So I appreciate that they did that, and I hope that they will continue to do this in the future. I think it'd be really nice. And then these will be the 20th and 21st Worlds tournaments under TPCI. So Anaheim will be the 20th. I think that's a pretty cool milestone. So I live like 20 minutes from Anaheim, so this will be like almost in my backyard. So I guess it'll be cool, but I probably won't get a hotel, which won't make it as fun, I guess. But San Francisco, I'll definitely have to go up there and get a hotel for that. But yeah, Anaheim is always... The funny thing is that, like, Anaheim is only really known for Disneyland. And I don't know what they're going to come up with for this theme for the merchandise next year. They're obviously not going to do, like, Pikachu and Mickey Mouse. That would be, like, hilarious, but they're not going to do that. Look, Anaheim is in...
You don't know what crazy collaborations Pokemon's working on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that would be interesting if they did that.
There are two mice. There are 2 mice running this show.
I wonder if they're, like, declaring war on Disney by having it over there. It'd be pretty funny. Anaheim is part of Orange County, which used to be Orange Grove, so I don't know if they'll have, like, an orange theme. That'll be kind of lame, but Anaheim is also, like... Sort of, maybe you could say is like, I mean, they show it here in the thumbnail, like a beach, but Anaheim isn't associated with beaches. It's more like Orange County is, which Anaheim's, I guess, a part of, but you don't associate Anaheim itself with beaches. So
they already have their slogan built in, though.
What?
For Worlds 2025?
What?
Aren't you glad we had Worlds here?
Anaheim is like the least, I'd say, exciting Worlds location out of all of them. But it's definitely functionally a good location because you have the convention center and all that. So it's a good location, but it's not like an exciting one, I would say. It's almost like they blew all their budget on Hawaii this year. So they had to like do the next one in a not as cool location. I don't know. I don't know how their budget works. Sense. But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited. Last time it was in Anaheim, I had some Poke Beach staff writers over here at my place, and we just drove to Worlds every day, and that was a lot of fun. It's always the social stuff that's most fun about Worlds.
If only Worlds weren't right at the beginning of the school year for me, and I could get away or something.
When did you? Yeah, I guess would this be right at the beginning for you?
Yeah, it would be August 15th through 17th. That would be like the first or second week of school for my district.
Can't you still? You have a free bed here.
Nope. Blackout days.
Dang, that sucks. All right, and then Pokemon TCG. Oh, yeah, sorry. The other announcement was that. Oh, I guess I forgot about this. Pokemon TCG Pocket will release on October 30th. The announcement was made during the closing ceremonies. Players can pre-register for it in the App Store and on Google Play. So I also think that that wasn't supposed to be the. I think the big part of the announcement was supposed to be the reveal of Mewtwo EX here, but they again spoiled it. Hours before. They've been doing that every year now. I feel like there have been spoilers every single year now, where they accidentally post something like, what was it for the EX Pokemon? They posted it like a half hour before the announcement by accident. And then this was a couple hours before they updated the page on Google Play to show the trailer and the Eevee card here. So, I don't know why they do that. But anyway, so this was probably supposed to be the exciting part of the Pokemon TCG Pocket announcement at the closing ceremonies, but it was spoiled a few hours before, was this Mewtwo EX reveal. It's one of the immersive cards where, I'll show it here. It's like Mewtwo is in a lab, breaking out of a lab here. Yeah, it's whatever. And then
it's really cool.
This is only... Well, this part is only a clip of it. I know that this is going to continue into... It's going to show other Pokemon after that, but they're only showing the beginning clip of it. Because there was... I think I didn't post a story about this yet. I don't know if I am. But I think it was on the App Store where they said that Mewtwo is in a lab and it shows other Pokemon in the lab. So this is definitely only the beginning of the immersive clip. And they did the same thing with the Pikachu card. They showed a clip of it. And then they showed the extended clip during the demo at Worlds, which I posted and I'll get to in the next story. But anyways, so yeah, they showed this Eevee illustration rare. It's reaching up, trying to reach its evolution stones for the first, for the Water Stone, Thunderstone, and Firestone. And then this Mewtwo card. It was also revealed that Genetic Apex, the first set releasing for Pocket, will have 226 cards in the main set and then up to 286 cards after secret rares. So that's 60 secret rare cards. They also showed Zapdos EX, Moltres, or we already saw Moltres. They showed Zapdos EX here, which we've never seen before. They showed the Evolutions here, which are all reprints, but presumably with new attacks and stuff. They also showed very small, you can barely see them, but they showed a Venusaur EX, Arcanine EX, Diglett Dugtrio. Also showed Lickitung. They showed that some of the cards you can put into cases. Some of the you can have play mats for the cards to use during your matches. Did I not screenshot that? I guess I didn't.
It's almost like these are all things. Hear me out. It's almost like these are all things that people wanted for TCG Live to do, and instead of doing any of them, Pokemon Company International decided to fumble as hard as they possibly could.
Yeah, I just I don't think they put that much budget into TCG Live because I think there was that news story I posted a few months back comparing TCG Live to Yu-Gi-Oh! Their simulator, and the numbers were just incredibly small for Pokemon TCG Live. It was like, what, 3% of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something like that, or less than 3%, I think, of the 3% of people using it.
You're not going to entice people to play your game when it doesn't function at a basic level.
Yeah,
when it gets basic gameplay wrong, right?
Yeah.
When there's so many things, I'm not going to go on a rant.
I agree.
There are so many things wrong with that app.
I agree with that, but I also think it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation where, and I'm not defending it, but what I'm saying is that I don't think they give it a lot of budget just because Pokemon is more of a collector's game than it is a player's game. It's always been that way. competitive play has always been a very small slice of the pie. Granted, it is getting larger in recent years, which, you know, you and I, of course, love. And it should, because it is a good game. But at the end of the day, it is still a collector's game. So that's why they partnered, I'm guessing why they partnered with DNA to release this, and why they clearly put the budget into this, because this is probably what's going to make them the money, versus TCG Live, which unfortunately probably is not a priority to them.
The thing is, this is what TCG Live could have been, and it could have made the money.
Well, I don't know. I have a bit of a hard time with that, because I just don't think, again, 3%, it has 3% of the usage of Yu-Gi-Oh! And
okay,
I understand
3% or not.
I understand
they're clearly investing the money on this app.
Yeah.
So the money is still going there. It's still being invested, except this is a completely, effectively a separate game that is using the same art assets and general gameplay. Like, it's still the Pokemon TCG,
right?
Just watered down a bit. It's very much
right.
the same thing that TCG Live could have been.
I'm sorry. Are you saying that? Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I misunderstood what you were saying. You're saying that these features of Pocket should have been part of Live. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. This is literally what people wanted from Live.
Oh, okay. You're saying they should have also made it where Live had like pack opening and stuff like that.
Pack opening, actual collections, features, like all of this stuff is stuff people have wanted and been begging and screaming for from Live since before it actually came out of closed beta. And we have seen some bug fixes and the introduction of lots of bugs, also some cards. Like, we still don't have the full expanded format in Live, and it's been out of beta for how long?
Yeah, well,
it's a bit absurd at this point.
Yeah, okay, I can see what you're saying. Maybe their marketing data showed that it's better just to make it its own thing. I don't know. Make its own app. I don't know. But maybe they'll use some of the money they make from this and put it into Live. Wouldn't that be cool? Maybe this is going to help fund Live.
It won't, because it's a separate company running and doing everything. That's how that works.
I know. But, well,
these are completely not related.
Pokemon Company still makes money off this, but yeah.
Yeah, but you know who doesn't make money off this?
Yeah. So, yeah. So those were revealed right before right before the closing ceremonies. And then let me just jump to the Pocket demo story. This is what everybody wanted me to do when I got to World, so I was first in line for this. I spent an hour ripping open packs in Pokemon TCG Pocket, and there was nobody in this line at all. And it only picked up after the opening ceremonies ended, and then I was looking throughout the day to see like how popular it was, and it really did not get that much foot traffic. So I don't know why. It was like didn't seem to be getting a lot of attention. So anyway, so I went to do the demo. The demo did not have any gameplay whatsoever. And the moment I saw that it didn't have gameplay, I was like, oh God, people are going to love that. All you could do in the demo was open genetic Apex packs. So I just stood there for an hour because, again, there was nobody behind me, and just kept opening packs and took pictures of the new cards. So you can see them here. The Squirtle and what was it? Where's another? Oh, the Squirtle and the Pidgeot EX were revealed the day before because they showed them in a commercial. God, this whole Pocket thing got like spread out over 4 news stories. And then they had the really beautiful Articuno EX here that was revealed. It has rainbow borders. And then, of course, the Sabrina, which is beautiful. But the others are...
So the card Sabrina is really pretty, but the effect is so bad.
Yeah. It's just switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench.
It's a repel.
Yeah.
It's repel. It's awful.
And I believe most of the other cards were just reprints. I mean, not reprints, but they're using the art from existing cards and giving them different attacks and stats and stuff. Yeah. So, like this...
A lot of this I've noticed is really basic, too. Most of these cards have very little text on them. It's like Knuckle Punch for 20, Leak Slap for 40 for 1 energy, and that's it.
I'm wondering if that's
how
the game...
basic.
I'm wondering if that's how the game will be, or if they were purposefully hiding cards that had more detailed effects as to not give away the gameplay.
Judging by the effects of these supporters, it's basic.
I don't know, because they did everything they could to hide what this energy zone was, and we still don't know how the mechanics of this game work. So I think they're also purposefully hiding some of the cards that would give away some of those things, which would mean not showing the more complicated cards and just showing the simplified cards as they are. That's my theory anyway. But yeah. Oh, and then unlike real booster packs, some of the booster packs exclusively have certain cards in them. So I double checked this with the guy, the TPCI employee there, who is part of the team that made this, and he said yes. Like, for example, the Serena can only be found in the Charizard pack, which is what I kept pulling. And then here's extended version of the Pikachu EX immersive art, as you can see here. We only saw just the beginning of this originally, but you can see here.
So pretty.
Yeah. Caterpie, both Nidoran, Butterfree, Poliwag, Sleeping by a Pond, Pidgey, and yeah, so it's pretty. For me personally, I still like physical cards more.
I like physical cards more too, but
this isn't gonna.
If you're gonna have a digital card, you better have something to entice people to want to click on it. Like,
yeah, that's true. It's like they are using the medium that they have. Like, what is exclusive about having digital cards? Well, you can do things like that. So it's good that they are taking advantage of that. But for me, like, this isn't going to be appealing to me personally. But I can see, like, that article I posted way back talking about how Pocket's going to be the next big thing. I can see how it is going to be popular with other people who want to have a digital collection. They don't have time to go find packs, open them. So we talked about that forever ago when I wrote that article. And then I also posted, this was so, when the guy told me this, like, just kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. But he was like, oh, you can flip the packs over and open them from the back. And I was like, cool. I'm clearly not the target audience for this. So I was like, whatever. But yeah, I guess that was a cool little thing. So all we had revealed, so I double checked this with the guy multiple times. I'm like, because again, I had him for like an hour. So I was like, okay, so the only thing newly revealed today is that here's a couple of new cards. Some of the cards can only be found in certain pack artworks. The Pikachu has a longer clip, and you can open the packs from the back. Is that the only new stuff? And he's like, yeah. I was like, great. The fans are going to love this. It's like there's almost nothing big revealed other than the couple of cool cards. So the guy I talked to is very nice, Stuart Pagan. He's part of the market team for Pocket. He stated, we created Pokemon TCG Pocket to enter the digital card game space, whereas Live is only available in certain regions. Pocket will be available worldwide, with a little asterisk because it's not in every country, but it'll be in most countries. So yeah, Pokemon TCG Pocket will release later this year. No specific release date is known. And then, of course, during the closing ceremonies,
know now, obviously.
During the closing ceremonies, they said October 30th. So my impression, so sitting there and opening all these packs, I did get excited I did truly get excited pulling like the Squirtle, the Articuno EX, the Pidgeot EX, the Sabrina. I did go, oh, like I did have a reaction. So I did slightly like it, but then at the end of the day, I mean, I'm collecting, PNGs, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the target audience. Maybe I'll change my mind once I don't know. Maybe if I try it out and I like collect the whole set, maybe I will like it. I don't know. But I'm just, yeah.
This feels like one of those toilet time games is what it feels like.
Yeah, it's just, again, like there's Pokemon is for different audiences. I'm not at all speaking for anybody. I'm only speaking for myself, or sorry, for everybody. I'm only speaking for myself. So just for me personally, like I don't feel like this is for me, but I can definitely see the appeal for other people. And if you enjoy it, that's great. I'm glad you can enjoy it. And there's clearly a market for this. Otherwise they wouldn't be making it. They wouldn't be responding to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and the Marvel Snap if these kind of games didn't make money and didn't have their audiences. So obviously this exists for a lot of people out there, and I'm maybe just not one of them. But
I would be really glad to be wrong and thinking this isn't for either of us. Maybe we can find joy in something that isn't really public or isn't well known about the TCG Pocket yet, but I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the best thing ever.
Yeah,
clearly there's nothing that's enticed either of us.
It was just unfortunate that they only show. So the other thing that I saw happen, and I almost wanted to go over and talk to the guy about it, was that a lot of people came up to me after they tried the demo at Worlds, and they thought this was only a pack opening game. They didn't realize there was a competitive component to it, that it's going to be an actual game.
So it's just like the real trading card game.
Yeah, so there were a couple of people that came up to me and said that they thought it was only a pack opening game. And I was like, no, there's a whole competitive part of it too that they just haven't revealed. So I kind of wish they had emphasized that when they did the demos, because they did not. And I also do wish they would have had a demo for people like me to play it and try it out, because you're at Worlds, all the people who are heavily involved with the trading card game are players and competitive players at that. So it just would have been nice if they had given us a little something, and I don't know why they didn't. Maybe they're not ready, maybe they're rushing. I mean, it's August, September, they've got 2 months, so they must be ready or close to ready.
I think they're probably ready. I'm hoping, like you said earlier, that they're just hiding everything interesting.
I don't know why though. Why are they doing that? It's
so that you can discover it while you're playing the app, and you can be enthralled by the app and just stay in the app for lots of time and make them lots of money. I don't know, some reason.
I don't know, but just to show you guys how much I care about the card game, I was the only one who got there early and went through this whole dang thing to take these pictures. Nobody else did it. Not any of the people they paid to fly out there. Nobody cared. So I hope people know that I really care about our card game, because I don't think many other people do. But anyway. Yeah, so I just wish they had covered more of I wish the demo had included the competitive stuff, but anyway. All right. So, and then the other Pocket story was that this was another thing. So I was in the line for the Pokemon Center at Worlds. I was in line for 2 or 3 hours, and there was a part where you curve up to an escalator, and everybody was running up the escalator to get into the Pokemon Center. But I just looked over and saw that there was a TV on that was showing these cards. So I stood there for 15 minutes and sacrificed my place in line to get these images. So, yeah, again, nobody else did that. So, yeah, these cards were in the other story. I included them there, but yeah. Was the Pidgeot and Squirtle. All right, now let's talk about we have more Paradise Dragona. We had the official reveal while we were at Worlds. We got 4 new illustration rares: Latios, Latias EX, Execute on a basketball court.
I tell you, that deck is not all it's cracked up to be.
And then the Alolan Executor special illustration rare, which is excellent. And then Paradise Dragona will release on September 13th. In English, we'll get it in Surging Sparks in November. And then here are the cards. Which grabbed your eye?
Let's start with EXs.
Okay. Flygon EX.
Flygon EX is a Terra Pokemon with 310 HP. It is a Stage 2 that evolves from Vibrava. You have the attack Stormbug for single fighting energy that does 130 damage. And you can switch this Pokemon with Pokemon on your bench. And then you have, for water fighting metal, it was Peridosonic. I'm not sure on the pronunciation there.
Periodontal.
This attack does... Sorry?
Periodontal. It's tooth related. Anyway.
Sure. This deck does 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and Pokemon V.
And don't apply weakness or resistance for this damage.
Which, I mean, it's standard stuff. It feels
underwhelming.
Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels meh.
Yeah. And then we have the Archaludon.
Archaludon has an ability that is not translated here, but it has the effect. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach 2 basic metal energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way you like. Is it not? I don't. Hold on.
I was in the middle of a meeting during this reveal, so I forgot to put the ability name. Would you translate it as?
I'm pulling up my translation right now because I'm questioning things. Yeah. So the ability is Alloy Build. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may attach up to 2 basic metal energy from your discard pile to your metal Pokemon in any way you like.
Oh,
a pretty important piece of that translation
missed the
missing
metal
there.
here.
But yeah, it's still fairly decent, I think. I do wonder how much play it'll see as an accelerator, at least with Metang in the format. But theoretically, you could pair this up with Metang and just have all the metal energy flying everywhere. So, meh.
Yeah.
Let's look at some reprints, shall we? Trainer cards. Wahoo! Counter Gain is back. That's exciting.
Yeah.
Counter Gain returns. Last time it was printed was Lost Thunder, which, if you guys don't know, is my favorite set of all time.
You've said that
Counter
before.
Gain has the... What was that?
You've said that before.
I know, but that's why I'm bringing it back if you don't know already.
I didn't detect that.
Anyway, Counter Gain's effect says if you have more prize cards remaining than your opponent, the attacks of the Pokemon this card's attached to cost 1 colorless less. Look, that's great. It's fun. Trust me, with Arvin in format, this card's gonna be nuts. I love it. It's so good. Last time this card was in format, we had Adventure Bag, which was an item card that lets you find 2 Pokemon tool cards. This is... You got Arvin format. Arvin's in a bunch of decks. Right now, it's more popular than Professor's Research in most decks. I'm so hyped that this card's coming back. Super, super good.
I want to have
let's keep digging.
I want to have like a little algorithm that records every time you bounce around the screen is your like excitement rate. It's like your rating of the card.
The Basil is not bitchiometer. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's like when you don't like something, you just like sit there. You're like, no, I don't like this. When you're excited, you're like,
what was that? We had that run of episodes where people like, Basil's just pissed off all the time. I was like, guys, there's just nothing good to talk about.
Yeah, we're not YouTubers. Like, I know we're on YouTube, but we're not. We can't pretend to be happy when we're not. We're not actors. We don't act.
Yeah, we're not acting. If we are excited about something, we're actually excited about it.
Wait, let me try.
We're not going to foam at the mouth for junk.
Wait, let me try. Oh my God, Surfer was just revealed. And can you believe what it does? It's like the greatest card ever. Do you know what it does?
Okay.
It's going to be in every deck. This could be in almost every deck. I mean it. It could be in almost every deck.
Let me guess. You're going to make a 10-minute long video about this?
Yes.
And you're going to waffle about for the first like 2 or 3 minutes before you even show the card?
What would I say? What would I say for 10? I don't even know what I would say. How would I waffle about? Know. I'd say, maybe I'd start with a personal story. Hey, I come from a surfing family, and my dad actually surfed in Hawaii for 8 years as a professional surfer. So I grew up surfing, and as did my brothers.
John,
and
you need more enthusiasm. That's not nearly YouTuber enough.
Dang it! I need to be able to make your blood pressure rise, or your blood sugar rise.
Let's just say you got me to cringe enough already.
We have nothing against YouTubers, by the way. We're just
picking on people, but we're having fun with it. It's all in good fun.
Everybody has their place. Anyway, Surfer, switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, draw cards until you have 5 cards in your hand.
It's bad. I'm sorry, it sucks.
I don't understand. Like,
play Kieran. Just play Kieran. This card's not worth drawing.
What is the inspiration for, like, what does this have to do with surfing? So, like,
I don't know.
With the tide, like you go
it's
in
a paradise,
and out.
I guess.
You go in and
it's
out.
A paradise.
So you're switching, maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
All right, Helper Bell.
I don't get it.
You can use
Helper Bell.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You can use this card only if you go second and only on your first turn. Search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Item card.
It seems okay.
Just meh.
This feels very wait and see hammer to me, where it might see play in like a deck randomly for some reason. But the problem is we don't have first turn supporters for the player going first, which doesn't matter, of course, because you can only use this going second. But like wait and see hammer, you could play it on either turn. So I don't know. Card feels
meh.
But maybe it's got a niche. I do like this card though. It's kind of crazy.
Megaton
Blower is an.
Sorry, I was having fun reading.
Megaton Blower is an ace spec. Megaton Blower is an ace spec that says discard all Pokemon tool cards and special energy attached to each of your opponent's Pokemon, and discard any stadium card in play. It's good.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth your ace spec slot? In most decks, probably not. But if you're playing a deck that likes this, it really likes it.
We needed these Megaton Blowers in line at the Pokemon Center at Worlds because we were stuck in a hot parking lot. And, yeah.
It's been so hot here that we had to stop letting our kids wait outside to get picked up because they were getting heat exhaustion in the lower stage. Like one of them was starting to throw up because it was so hot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was like 111 outside.
Do they have like pre-existing issues or was it?
No, just really hot.
Just hot?
Really hot. And you dehydrate extremely fast when it's that hot. Yeah. And if you're a little kid, you don't have a lot to dehydrate. So you dehydrate
kids.
very quickly.
Poor kids. They need...
Yep.
Do you guys give out freeze pops like they did when I was in kindergarten on hot days?
I'm not sure what the nurse did, but we got them attention immediately because obviously that's not an okay thing. But yeah, it's just really hot, and I understand waiting in line is not pleasant. What is it with worlds and picking hot locations? Because wasn't Japan
it's August
also unbearably hot?
It was.
Yeah, well, I know,
it's
but
August,
still.
But yeah. Japan was really hot too, but Hawaii was hot and muggy. Yeah, and then everybody got sunburned from what I heard, like after the tournament. Like I said, my back is... I went snorkeling at one point on that one day, and I put on sunscreen, but I couldn't reach my back, and I didn't realize that I was frying my back the entire time. So my back is purple and red, and literally you can peel off strips of... Anyway, we don't need to go into that much detail.
So pleasant.
We don't need to go into that much detail. But yeah, like if they did maybe a cooler location, that would be nice. But I don't know.
I know. We can have
Australia?
Worlds 2027 in San Antonio, Texas.
No,
right in the heat of the summer.
No. But like, I'd have to
we'll go through a heat wave where it's like 115.
It'd have to be like Australia or something in the Southern Hemisphere
somewhere where it's winter right now.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Honestly, that would make sense. It's like Worlds 2027 in Sao Paulo, Brazil. That I could see that being cool.
But they keep it to California and Hawaii and places like that because it's cheaper to fly out the U.S. people and the Japanese people and all that. So yeah, I don't even know if we're gonna ever see it in London again. Like. London was a little warm, but not terribly.
The fact that we saw international locations 2 years in a row is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's just them, like you were kind of talking about, like almost blowing their budget from all the sales they got through COVID.
I don't know. Like, I thought London was because of Galler. I thought they were going to do like every time they did
but like...
But then it got delayed twice, so it was like, it was like, oh, are we gonna have Worlds this year? Nope. Are we gonna have Worlds this year? Nope. Okay, now we're gonna have it. So it was like the third time that it finally got to be in London, and then maybe that screwed up their plans. I don't know, but yeah. So I don't know. It would be nice to get it in other places that are a little cooler. London was. I don't remember London being too hot, so it must not have been too crazy there.
No, London, from what I understand, around this time of year is only like 75, 80, maybe 85 degrees. It's not that hot.
Yeah, and in fact, I think I remember it was cold at night. So yeah, so we're back in London. I'd like that. But My wallet might not, but okay. So that's Paradise Dragona, and then and then this was. I had so many World's New Stories to post. I didn't get to this one right away, so I had to post it a little late. But Duskull from Cosmic Eclipse has been banned from Expanded thanks to Dusclops. So TPCI and creatures have announced
it.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, I didn't. I don't remember that.
I had a little conversation with somebody in the comments talking about how not a conversation. It was a small back and forth. Somebody basically said that I just wanted random crap banned because I didn't know how to play the game. It's like, or maybe alternatively, that's not the case. And I actually know what I'm talking about because this card's been banned in my alternate format, Eternal format, for a while now, as has the a similar Duskull from the Diamond Pearl era, because they're problems when you have a larger card pool.
Maybe they should hire you or both of us, actually. Hire you for the competitive. Hire me for the getting fans hyped.
Make Expanded great again.
So Duskull from 2019's Cosmic Eclipse will be banned from Expanded starting September 27th. Sorry. This is due to the release of Dusclops from Shrouded Fable, whose ability makes it easy to donk your opponent. So TVCI stated the reason for the ban on Pokemon.com. I don't think I need to read the whole thing, but basically Dusclops lets you put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon, and then Duskull lets you evolve straight into Dusclops right away, so it makes it easy to quickly evolve and donk someone. So donk them. They're 50 HP basic, so.
Yeah, Dusclops is pretty good, it turns out. Yep,
that's
lots of damage.
Although we don't really.
The ban was 100% coming, and it came.
But we're still not having Expanded for the Premier events, right?
Nope, no Premier events for Expanded, which is interesting. Japan's still holding Expanded tournaments. We have nothing. And
I guess they just echo the ban list from Japan. So that's why they announced it.
Yeah, that's all they've done.
It's not really it doesn't really affect us too much.
I do wonder if TPCI has just used the whole post-COVID thing as an excuse to kind of retire the Expanded format in general. Because Expanded events were never as big as Standard, ever. Standard was always way more popular.
But it's like, why keep making these announcements then? It seems like half a word.
Because they're supposed to have Expanded in live at some point, question mark?
I don't know.
Maybe 20 years from now when we finally have a functional client?
I don't know. And then, before the opening ceremony started, I had to get these news stories out quickly. You can get a free Penchant EX in live with code OutburstWorlds24. The side events for Worlds offered this exclusive playmat here. It costs 400 points to get. And then you could also get the Paradise Resort English promo for 400 points. So those were the prize wall exclusive prizes for the side events. And then here's the Worlds 2024 trophy cards. When I first posted this, because I was in such a rush to get these up, I did not realize that they had deleted a sentence from each of these. So they removed the sentence, "You may return to battle the best next year." As you can see on these cards from last year, it says, "You may return to battle the best in 2024," whereas the new ones just say, "You may proclaim yourself as one of the top Pokemon trainers in the world." It says nothing about battling next year. So
my understanding, do you understand why they changed the wording?
Maybe like a COVID situation?
Nah. From what I've gathered, it's because Unite players do not get an automatic invite, but they do get one of these cards.
I see.
So that it's just to generalize it for Unite, basically.
Dang, Unite ruining it for everyone.
Everybody in basically all the other games does get the automatic invite still. It's just not printed on the card.
Yeah. But that's like so traditional, though. I would, whatever.
It is, but It's cheaper to have one version of the card than to print one just for Unite.
Yeah, and then Unite ones would go for a lot more if they did that. So makes sense. So yeah, those are the same artwork as last year, and last year was also the first time we got new artwork in, I think it was 7 years. Yeah, 7 years. So no new art this year, but new text. All right, and
They're
then
still cool.
And then I don't. Do we want to do this? The full catalog of worlds.
I think the world stuff is kind of over at this point.
You can't get it, so
it's fine. You can't get me get it for really marked up on eBay, I'm sure, but
yeah. So I actually have a story about this though. So I got into Worlds twice, and into Worlds twice. I got into the Pokemon Center at Worlds twice. And the first time I was helping a little kid because he said that he only had like $20 and he was asking me what he should buy. So I was giving him advice. And then one of the employees overheard me and came up to me and said, I'm trying to figure out which of these is the most valuable to resell. And I was like, oh, God.
That's one of the employees saying that?
Yeah. So they were all talking about it because they saw that people were scalping and they wanted to get in on it because, and then she also kind of implied that she could like go in the back and get some of the merchandise somehow. I forgot what she said, but she heavily implied it. So if even the employees
understocking, how brilliant.
So if even the employees were doing this, like, it's just like Pokemon just prints so much money that it's so easy for people to be corrupted, I guess, by it. It's like the one ring or whatever. So that made me a little...
Giratina has influence on all of us.
Yeah, that made me a little uneasy. Yeah, and then, of course, they did not implement limits on how many of each item you could get in the very beginning. So you saw people walking out with like 50 double deck boxes and trying to sell it outside the convention center. So I don't know why this happens.
How do they manage not to screw that up at NAIC?
I know, it's every dang time they do that. I think they do it on purpose. Why is it that happens every single time?
But it's just Worlds because it wasn't a problem at NAIC.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, you were saying, NAIC is an exception. But this happens every single year at Worlds, and I feel like they do it on purpose. Like, do they really not get the memo out every time? Like, it's just every time at Worlds, people walk out with so much of the merch, and then they're selling it outside. And then it's just...
They just overproduce the heck out of it and then sell it all to all the scalpers. It's fine. That's what they did to the card game. Why can't they do it with all this other stuff?
I don't know. So, there was there was a ton of merchandise that was not available, but I picked up a couple of things. I got
John, a collector of nothing, picks up things.
No, I got a shirt. I can't find it here quickly. I got a shirt. I got a hat, and I got a double deck box, and I think that was it. Oh, and I think I got a towel. I always get functional things. Oh, no. And I did get, oh God, I keep adding. I got the, they had this like cooler bag thing to like put sodas in when you go to the beach. Yeah, this drink cooler bag. And I was trying to find one at Walmart and Trader Joe's before I went to the beach a few weeks ago and I couldn't find any. So this was actually perfect. I was like, oh my God, I was just looking for this a few weeks ago and it's Pokemon themed. So that was great. So I only got like functional things. But I don't like keep them packaged or anything. I open them up right away and actually use them. So
it's all cool stuff.
They had some cool,
mostly cool stuff, I should say.
In my opinion, a lot of it was cool. But again, like I don't like when they put the Worlds logo on everything because it just dates it for me. But I do understand like that a lot of people probably like that because it commemorates their trip. A lot of them probably only get to go to Worlds like once or twice in their lives, maybe. So for those kinds of people, I'm sure it's special for them. Whereas me, I've been to every Worlds, I think, except some of the Hawaii ones. So in this case, it's not for me, that choice. But yeah. So, and then again, I think I put here, you had to, if you were going to the Pokemon Center, you had to go through 3 different lines. The first line was outside of the venue. Then, of course, they were late. Then they take you into this hot parking lot where you have to wait. They didn't have any fans on when I was there. You had to ask for them to bring you water. And I was like dying. I hadn't had any water up until that point. And then you're taken into a third line inside the convention center. For me, it took like 2 to 3 hours from when I arrived to when I actually got in. And I heard similar from other people too. And then while you were in the third line, here's our next news story. They also previewed some of the Halloween merchandise that would be for sale. It actually just went on sale like a day or two ago. So you can see it here.
Chandler plastic thingy. John, your descriptions are on point.
I didn't know what it was because it's just a decoration. I kind of thought maybe it was like a key holder, but then you can't probably fit your key ring over those. So I guess it's just a decoration or something. I don't know. But this is what they previewed. And then if you go to PokemonCenter.com now, they'll have a lot more items available, specifically like t-shirts and sweatshirts. Oh, and that was a weird thing. Like they had sweatshirts for the for the World's 2024, but like surfing artwork and the Pikachu scuba diving artwork. And it's like, why would I wear a sweatshirt of like a summer themed? Why would I wear a summer themed sweatshirt in like the winter? That was like a really weird choice to me.
Okay, so I'm just going to say this outright. My students, and I don't understand how because I'm already dying, they will not take their jackets or sweaters off in class or even when they're outside.
In the summer?
In summer here in San Antonio.
Why?
So it boggles the mind.
Is it?
I don't understand how they don't drop dead, but it's so hot here.
Do they like?
And they just don't like three-quarters of them don't take them off.
Do they like keep their?
They're glued to them practically.
Do they keep their phones hidden in their sweatshirts or something, or snacks, or?
I'm talking even like after school, like when they're just waiting for their parents to pick them up, or it's like how can you breathe?
I don't know. Weird. Maybe it's a fashion statement. Maybe I don't know. You'd have to.
It's like they feel like they needed a personal sauna.
If you are a high schooler watching this podcast right now, first of all, it's Friday night and you should be with your friends. Secondly,
well, by the time this goes live, for me at least, it'll be Saturday morning.
No, so. I'm going to post this tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. But secondly, if you're a teenager watching this, please explain to us why in Texas teenagers are wearing sweatshirts in the summer. We would like to know.
Yeah, exactly.
We would like to know.
It's so freaking hot.
But for this Halloween merch, this is kind of similar to the merchandise they've already released for Halloween. Like they're just doing new Pokemon. So like I already have a Pikachu version of this Munchlax tea candle light thingy. So like all this is kind of similar to what they've released before. So I'm not really interested in it. But if you're somebody new, it's some of it I imagine would be cool for you.
You gotta catch them all, you know.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I have a limited wallet and limited space, so I can't catch them all.
My wallet is very, very flat and has lots of room for whatever could go inside it.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that teachers don't get paid more when they're the backbone of our society, basically, teaching the future.
Yeah. The way some people talk about teachers, though, wanting to strip the Department of Education of all funding, and
it's because they want the masses to stay dumb so that they continue to support the rich people, you know, being the worker bees. That's what it is. Because if you teach people like logic and habits for life, like financial habits and things like that, then they're going to grow up to be wealthy and smart, and they won't want to be a worker bee anymore. So that's why they keep them dumb. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Next news story is this still active? This might be irrelevant now, but you could get a free Worlds coin with $50 of orders and up on PokemonCenter.com if you enter code COIN2FORUS. All one word.
Coin 24 us or coin 24
coin
US.
24 US.
Yeah.
2 for us. Man, it's late. God, it's always late or early when we do this podcast. We never do it.
It's late. It's late for you. It's like 10 for you. It's midnight for me.
But I haven't had any sleep.
I got up at 5 a.m.
I got up at 5 a.m. today. I haven't had any sleep either. I'm the same. But we're always doing this podcast when we're dead, like right in the morning or right at night, never in the middle of the day. So you guys are always catching us at our worst. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, you can get this coin on PokemonCenter.com, I think, still. Probably.
The way that coin looks, maybe it's just the way the light is. It almost looks like that Pikachu has like the Bidoof teeth.
Oh, I can kind of see that. Yeah.
You can kind of see it, right?
It's the lighting.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Funny enough, they didn't offer this coin at the Pokemon Center at Worlds or the Pikachu promo, the Pikachu and Mew promo, which sucked.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. Now we have... God, they're still going. So I think we've been recording an hour and a half.
So much news when we missed last week.
All right. People said they wanted longer podcasts. I guess we...
Well, they're getting this week.
Keep them entertained on their drives or whatever.
Are you not entertained? Also, that sequel's coming out this year.
And then we have like 2 hours of content, and then we'll say like one off-color thing, and then somebody will say they hate us. That's how it goes.
Speaking of hating us or not, hopefully don't. If you've made it this far into the podcast and you happen to be listening on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify, please do leave us a review. 5-star reviews are absolutely appreciated, and some text reviews if you're on Apple Podcasts would also be very appreciated. We'd like to read the comments. It's been a while since we've had a brand new text-based review for Apple Podcasts for the Poke Beach podcast.
Have there been any?
Hit that up.
Have there been any before?
There was one. We read it off when we first got it.
That's the only one?
That's the one.
Wow.
Yep.
We are killing it.
So that one is very special still, and will always be special because it was the first one, but still.
Yeah, that's sweet. So the Tropicos EX Premium Collection has been revealed to feature Terra Lapras, Cinderace, and Tropicos EX. Which are all from Stellar Miracle, and it'll cost $120. So here's the imagery, which we've already seen before, although this is higher definition. I think last time I said I wish the dice weren't just the square ones. Like I wish they made them more like stars. Is this the first time we've gotten the dice looking like this, where they're more starry? I think so. Yeah. So they did actually do it. That's cool. So yeah, it'll come with these cards from Stellar.
Yeah, we've seen these cards before, but
yeah. But now we know. Okay, and then we're ending the podcast on a wonderful story. Gosh,
not a wonderful story.
Yeah, sarcasm. Rachel Lillis, the voice of Misty and Jessie, passed away at 46. On I think it was August 10th. She was known for voicing Misty, Jessie, and Jigglypuff. I had a few emails with her back in the day. She was always just so willing to answer questions, and she seemed like she really, really cared. You know, a lot of people kind of put their nose up sometimes. Like I know that the original voice actor for Mewtwo had originally put his nose up at the fandom and thought Pokemon was beneath him. But, you know, Rachel Lillis, Veronica Taylor, Eric Stewart, they were always like, they always showed their appreciation. And Rachel especially, she always like remembered everything too. Like, she always would share stories on Twitter of like remembering how she recorded the first time she recorded the voice of Jigglypuff, it was at night. She would always share stories like that. So she cared about her role, and she cared about Pokemon and the fandom, and it was apparent. So Eric Stewart, who voiced Brock and James, shared on his Twitter, she was one of the sweetest, funniest, kindest people. my dear friend for so many years. Celebrate her life by watching the original Pokemon, especially Team Rocket. She will always be my partner in comedic crime. And then Veronica Taylor, who voiced Dash, said, I was lucky enough to know Rachel as a friend. She had unlimited kindness and compassion, even until the very end. She had a great sense of humor, was wonderful to be with, incredibly intelligent, and had such a memory. She worked hard and cared deeply. And I don't think I mentioned she passed away from breast cancer. Her breast cancer diagnosis was revealed in May 2024, and she is now the second main cast member to die. Maddie Bloston, who voiced Meowth, passed away in December 2008, which I reported on back then. So we've now lost two, far too young. So yeah, sucks. She was very talented. Like she could sing. Yeah. She was good at Jessie.
Jessie and Misty sound nothing alike.
Yeah, and they're very punch. They were very punchy with their deliveries. Like very talented actress. Yeah. She had a range for sure with her characters. So yeah, it just sucks. Yeah, it's just I don't know what more you can say. It's just I think we all understand. So.
I mean, this news story basically exists to let people know that it happened.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but life ends.
Yeah. For some people, too young. So some people go before they should, and she's one of them. So it also just sucks that the original 4Kids cast wasn't able to continue with the characters when TPCI took over. I don't think it was anybody's fault. I think it was just contractual things or whatever.
Contractual.
But it just back then I was part of a group that was trying to get the original voice actors back on the cast, and it became pretty apparent quickly that it was a legal issue that was preventing it. And I remember, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but I know that these Veronica Taylor, Rachel Lillis, and Eric Stewart were very upset they couldn't continue with those roles that meant so much to them. So, but Rachel Lillis and all of them, they live in our hearts. I watch the original show all the time, far more than I do the modern show, because the original is what I grew up on, and it's from a different time, different era, where you could be a little more. I don't know, like Misty would slap Ash around or, kick him in the face.
Much more physically percussive.
Yeah. Today you can't. Can you imagine like Lily or Mallow or Lana or any of those characters like bashing Ash around? Like, no.
Just like Mallow just repeatedly beating Ash over the head.
They're just they're very polite.
Like, where's my cast iron pan?
Yeah. They're just very polite kids, and it's a good thing, but it's also not like the content that you and I grew up on. Like 90s was very different than it is now. You could
very different for sure.
Very different. Now things are a little more censored, and it's can't say certain things. Down. Yeah, you have to be careful what you say, and people are very
gotta be nice.
People are easily offended over every little thing. People are always looking for reasons to feel more superior and find reasons to hate other people, and yada yada yada. So. Back then, I mean, just imagine like an episode airing now where a character assaults another character. Like, I don't think it would faze you and I, because we're used to growing up with that. But kids today, who knows? I mean, the parents would probably have a fit. So, anyway.
Yeah, let's shut Pokemon off and put Coco Melon back on. That's safer. Coco
Melon? What was that?
It's a show for babies.
Oh, that's on now?
It's or what at least was recently
you just cut
popular.
Out for me. What'd you say?
It's a show that at least recently was popular.
Oh, I thought it was that Pause Pad. What am I saying?
You're talking about Paw Patrol?
Oh yeah. Wait, what did I say? Oh, I said Pal Pad. Oh my god, my brain is corrupted by Pokemon.
We're too tired. We are too tired.
Paws Patrol. Yeah, that dog show. I thought that was popular. In our day, it was Blue's Clues, and Barney
Blue's Clues is back too,
and Teletubbies, and you were supposed to hate Barney, and the purple Teletubby was gay. That was all the jokes on the playground. And you were, if you ever saw, I remember, I think it was around my 10th birthday, I went to another friend's birthday at a roller skating rink, and Barney came out in a costume, and all the kids went to attack him. So it was like, I can't imagine them doing that now.
I'm sure the actor for Barney was like, what the heck did I do?
Yeah. It was just some poor guy in a dinosaur costume. And all the kids just brushed him. And I mean, you can't do that now. I mean, if you watch like Stranger Things, like they have like a portrayal of the 80s that's pretty rough, with like 11 going to a high school and the kids like bullying her and whatever. And things are just so different now. You try any of that and you'll just, I don't know, you'll get sued to, I don't know what they'll do. The teachers will. Anyway, you're falling asleep. I can see your eyes closing. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, well, I think we'll end it there. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Poke Beach podcast, all 2 hours of this episode. I think this is the longest we've ever done because it was 2 very long weeks
by a landslide.
Yeah. So we hope you listened this far. If you did listen this far, say...
Archaludon.
Say, oh, yeah, that's a good one. Say yeah, say that one. And we hope you all had
everybody's favorite staple remover.
Yeah, and was there anything more I wanted to say about Worlds? I felt like I had a couple more comments to say about it, but yeah, I can't really remember.
There was drama, but that's not really our venue.
There was what?
There was drama because, of course, there was
drama
about a disqualification in top 8.
Oh, well, what was the drama?
It was actually a match loss. So one of the players made a gesture on stream.
Thing? Oh yeah,
yeah.
I saw that. I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, I don't get it. And then somebody, I guess, explained in the comments that it was some obscene gesture, but I didn't know it was. It would have flown right past me. Yeah. But it
was pretty distinctly that gesture, and the player said as much. But
yeah.
It's like that's a rough time to learn to maybe not celebrate like that.
Well, I think people need to understand that, Pokemon is a kids-oriented game, and you should always be on your best behavior. So, they're streaming this to so many people, and not a good time to pull things like that. So, I feel like if the judges make a call like that, like there's a good reason, even if you don't understand the reasons because it's not always made public, like they usually...
Part of the complaint isn't necessarily that he was penalized.
It's that it was after the fact.
They applied it basically after
retroactively
the match had already ended.
Yeah.
There's typically the procedure is that once a match slips are signed, that's it. That's finalized. So normally it would have gone to a match loss in top 4, and that was where that would have gone.
I don't know,
but that's not what they did, or at least that's not what we think they did based on what we know. I'm sure the judges have more information than we do, but that's what we know.
It's always I don't like a lot of time when people give such divisive comments online in response to what judge calls, because we don't know all the information and they're not really allowed to talk about it. So usually, if they made a decision, it's gone through multiple people, and so there's probably a fairly good reason for it. But if it's just based on what we know with this retroactive decision, like I said, that flew right past me, I would never have even thought twice about that. But if since that is an obscene gesture, like he can't get away with doing that, so to me it makes sense. Like, it's a kid's game, you can't do that. Like, that's really bad for representing the brand. So so whether or not they signed the slip or not, you can't let people get away with something like that. So, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, they would have, instead of bumping him out during top 8, they would have bumped him out during top 4. How much of an impact that would have made, we don't know. Marcos, the eventual winner, ended up getting into the back end of the bracket because of what happened, which makes everybody feel like he didn't deserve to be. Like, it's just messy, it's a whole lot of, frankly, unnecessary drama.
Well,
it's not a pleasant situation for the players. It's not a pleasant situation for the judges. Ultimately, it comes down to just don't do something that warrants a match loss in the first place.
Yeah, like, come on, you're on stream. Like, don't be dumb. It's pretty obvious. No matter what age you are, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, no, there was more stuff I wanted to say about Worlds, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But I had fun. It's always, for me, the social aspect of it, hanging out with people. And hopefully one day you can come. Maybe they'll do it early enough where you can come and we can hang out.
You can actually do it in July instead of August.
Yeah, and I don't know why they...
Mid-July.
I could have... Yeah, and they're doing it like the first week of U.S. school year. So isn't that weird? Like, what do the parents tell... Weird. What did the parents tell their... the kids' teachers?
I was just like, they're just going to miss the whole first week of school.
Yeah.
Let's get them started off on a back foot.
It's weird. But anyway. Yeah, I can't remember what else I had to say about Worlds, but anyway. All right. Well, thank you for listening this far. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to leave comments on the thingies he talked about from earlier. What was it? Apple,
Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. And we will see you all next week. Thanks for listening. And be sure to share this with other people if you want them to know about what's going on in the TCG world, and they want to take it in video form rather than article form. But yeah, we hope you have a good week, and we will see you next week. Thanks, everyone.